I'm Myke Shrews,
And I'm Tivis,
and you're listening to
the Munster Cast.
episode 88. Welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters. I'm, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend, Tivis. So, Tivis, please tell everybody out in the Munsterverse. How you doing today, dude?
I'm a little tired. I stayed up too late watching the final Rooster Teeth stream.
Fun.
Yeah. Last time they're going to do anything together before they all scatter to the four winds in 2 weeks. So,
yeah.
But needless to say, we're running a little behind. So we are going to go a bit quick through our intro. So,
yeah,
sorry,
definitely.
stuff. How you doing, Myke? I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, I'm good. I just want to let everybody out there know that is watching the video. Yes, we do have a different background today. I decided to add the Munsters Today house as the background just for 1 week. We'll see how well it looks and everything. So definitely enjoy that one. We don't ever really use the Munsters Today actual house. So mainly because they don't really do a whole lot of exterior shots outside of the normal
Zoom into Grandpa's lab.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, my sound looks really low on my end. I'm gonna jack that up. No, that still doesn't look right. All right, screw it. Fix it in post. Ugh. Come on, camera. All right. Real quick, everybody, we'll dive into the dirty business. You can find the MunsterCast on all social media platforms, as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, via a bot, all via the MunsterCast. You can also find us and see our pretty ugly faces every Munster Monday via youtube.com/at TheMunsterCast. And if you want to, you can slide on over to TheMunsterCast.com, and that is where you can find all of our content in one final place. And there's also a sweet tab up there that says the Munsters Today. If you guys want to click that, you get to find a bunch of Munsters Today photos and stuff like that, because I found out when you Google the Munsters Today, a lot of the images take you back to our site anyway, so that's always fun. There's also a little tab up in the top corner that says store or merch or something like that. I don't even remember. Shop. Or you can just swing on over to the munstercast.com/merch website, and then it'll take you directly to our awesome shop over there where you can find some sweet swag for the Munster Cast. And then also, if you're on the website, you can click the right hand side of the screen where there's a little microphone icon, leave us a voice message as well, or you can just email us at themunstercast@outlook.com. That is themunstercast@outlook.com, guys, and let us know anything you want about your Munster fandom, your Munster fan theories, your Munster this, and all that fun stuff. What else we got, Tivis?
We got a Patreon, which you can join to support us. And there's a tier where you get access to our Discord, where you can chat with us and other Munster fans. And also watch Munsters Today along with us. Don't join thinking you can download it. You cannot. We've done all the basics. There's probably some kind of complicated shit you can get it with, but we are not a distributor. We do not want to upset Universal. You can just watch.
Yes.
But what helps us more is reviews on your podcatcher of choice if they allow you to do that. 5 stars on iTunes, they bump us up. Obviously, we're not saying give us 5. We would like 5, but be truthful in your comments. We like the critique. We like to hear your feedback. YouTube, love the comments from people who go on there. Telling people about us, all this stuff helps the show grow and get more eyes on the Munsters as a whole, and we appreciate all of you.
Definitely.
So,
all right,
what we talk about today, Myke?
Today we are talking about Drac the Ripper, episode that aired December 16th, 1989.
Yep.
So what information do you got for me, dude?
Drac the Ripper, Season 2, Episode 11, or 106 with both shows combined. Aired Saturday, the 16th of December, 1989, last of the 80s episode, this time for sure. You know what's funny is I had it in our notes for the scheduling,
Uh-huh.
and I shocked myself when I opened it to put this the title of this one in with our info. I'm like, huh, how did I forget that last week? But whatever. This was written by Robert uh, Scherschter.
Oh, you're asking me? I haven't looked at any of that.
Anyway, this is his first of 4 episodes. His first credit was for the show Brothers in 1985. Wrote for the following shows and various, one to many episodes. We got Charles in Charge, The New Gidget, Out of This World. Then he switched to cartoons with Raw Tunage, Marsupilami. That don't seem right. Bonkers, which is a show I really liked. Street Sharks, Aladdin, Problem Child, The Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Quack Pack, The Magic School Bus, Dragon Tales, and Cyber Chase. All interesting and weird shows.
All great shows, dude. Holy crap. That's a lot. That's a lot of my childhood.
I know. Directed
and
by
I assume it's the Ace Ventura cartoon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
This one is directed by Peter Isaacson, who is back. This is his 11th of 13. If you don't recall who he was an actor, and this is his only listed directing credit on IMDb, which we can't really trust, but yeah, here we are. We last saw his work with ensue de Munster, the finale to season 1.
ensue de Munster. Uh-huh.
And we have one guest not listed on IMDb, Floyd Levine as Lieutenant Reynolds. We're going to do a quick look through his stuff. Let's see. His first credit, 1972, with Comeback Charleston Blue. Starsky and Hutch, he was on. Let's see. Heart to Heart, Charlie's Angels. All right. Police Squad.
Show,
Ooh, there we go. Airplane 2. Okay. Yeah. The Love Boat. All right. Knight Rider. Ooh. Just looking, doing quick. There's so many one-off things here that I Baywatch. Okay.
Did you say the Wonder Woman show?
I might have passed it. Good Burger. Are you serious? Huh?
I mean, if you watch this episode, you'll see him and you'll be like, "Oh, I know him from something." Because I did the same thing. He usually does play like I guess a cop in some fashion a lot of the times. So
he was in Norbit, Meet Dave, and The Hangover. All right. Cool. Yeah, he's got 99 total credits. I highly recommend looking him up. Floyd Levine.
Awesome. Is he still alive?
According to IMDb, but I don't know. I'll look that up while you're doing synopsis.
Synopsis time. All right. Let's see if I have the energy for this morning.
Oh,
go on.
It looks like, yes, he is still alive, 92 years old.
Oh, nice. Hell of a life, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still kicking? Heck yeah, dude. Good for you, man. Oh, geez. Let me take a drink of this water.
His Ninja Turtles cup for audio listeners.
Yeah. Like my shirt, too.
Your epilepsy wearing a shirt.
It says
epilepsy is proof I have a brain. That's great.
What's your excuse?
I don't have one. I'm wearing Power Rangers today. So,
all right. Synopsis time. Drac the Ripper, which aired December 16th, 1989, as we both have previously stated. On this episode of The Munsters Today, in the shadowy depths of the Munster household, a chilling tale unfolds as Eddie learns of the true crime saga of the modern-day Jack the Ripper. Amidst a labyrinth of conspiracy and tantalizing circumstantial clues, Herman finds himself entangled in a web of suspicion, his mind racing to uncover the identity of the elusive killer. Meanwhile, Grandpa is rocked by a sinister revelation that his prize patent has been snatched away by his scientific rival Dana Walker, a trusted colleague turned foe. Will Grandpa sink his fangs into the competition or retreat into the tranquil refuge of his knitting needles? And as the clock ticks ominously, Marilyn's dream of attending a Bon Jovi concert hangs in precarious balance. With danger lurking in every corner, Marilyn and Eddie stand at a crossroads, torn between their yearning for normalcy or fleeing for their lives. And as Herman's instincts sharpen and the stakes escalate, the Munster household transforms into a labyrinth of secrets and lies. Will Herman's relentless pursuit lead him to unmask the true face of evil, or will the elusive killer slip through his fingers, lurking in the shadows? Only one thing is certain: the truth lies in wait, shrouded in the chilling embrace of the unknown. Now we must ask ourselves one question: will chaos ensue? Find out this week on The Munsters Today. There you go.
Oh, what did I do?
I don't know. What'd you do?
I somehow popped open the source code to our what we record on.
Cool.
I'm good now.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, I do know what I clicked, but that was interesting. All right.
All right, let's dive on into this, man.
We open with Eddie watching TV. It's a news report of, yep, there's the nice title for visual watchers. It's a news report who is introducing an interview with a uranium terrorist who was held hostage by an American diplomat in St. Louis, which is a hilarious twist on what usually happens.
Mhm.
It kind of reminds me of you ever watch the Boondocks, the cartoon?
Yeah.
The guys who kidnap Bill Cosby and then return him because he's annoying. Herman comes out in like a red plaid jacket and a red shirt this time. That was cool to see. Have we seen that one before? I don't recall it.
I don't think so. And
Yeah,
is
that's
it
what I
red?
thought.
It's more of like a maroon.
Is it maroon? No,
Yeah.
that's a
And he
red
wears
tint.
it this whole episode too.
Yeah, he does. He's like, Eddie, get to bed. He's like, no, I want to finish watching this special on Jack the Ripper. He was a killer, Europe. And Herman's like, oh, I thought he was just a guy who had bad gas. Well, anyway, that was 100 years ago. That means this is a rerun. And he's like, no. First of all, he's a copycat. Second of all, this is part of the American obsession with crime stories that has only gotten worse as the years gone on. So we got
It's
to watch
gone
it.
to the extreme now.
Yeah, these people are actively getting involved when they shouldn't.
I mean, some of them have helped solve crimes, though. To be fair, like
Sure, don't encourage them.
I'm
Just
just saying,
because some have been helpful doesn't mean the rest have not hindered and ruined investigations.
yeah.
There is a copycat out there leaving carved up radishes at each of the victims' bodies. He leaves a puncture marks on the neck and the smell of liverwurst, just like the original, which is not a description I remember.
Yeah, what they say here makes absolutely no sense for Jack the Ripper because yeah, it's just yeah. And most of Jack the Ripper's victims were prostitutes
Yeah.
or sex workers, whatever you want to call them nowadays.
Herman just cannot stand serial killers without originality. um, Eddie tells him, he's already struck 3 times in Mockingbird Heights. And that's when Grandpa comes in with a strange black bag.
Yeah.
And Herman asks, where you been? Out. Well, you missed out on great supper. We had king snake stuffed with escargot. Grandpa's like, I'll have the leftovers for breakfast. It's better cold anyhow. Eddie asks him to join. He's like, hey, come on. It's the second coming of Jack the Ripper. Nah, Grandpa wasn't thrilled with him the first time around. Which means Grandpa knew him.
Did he know him, or did he just hear the stories and was like, I don't care?
This reaction makes me think he did know him.
Yeah. There's there's a little bug flying around. I'm trying to get it.
The benefits of Florida having windows open.
Don't have windows open. Kids leave the freaking doors open. Anyways,
Whatever. He made it through. He made it very tough for night people like themselves. And then, as he's talking, his trapdoor opens without any prompt, and then Grandpa just heads down. That was a cool little, as he's talking to Eddie, it just opens up and he comes down. No one touches it. He doesn't look at it.
I think Grandpa has like a bracelet or something that senses when he's nearby, so it opens up for him.
Oh, like dog collars?
Yeah. Like the old the dog doors that they have and stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna say magic, but yeah, no, okay. Now I want to believe Grandpa has a dog collar.
Believe
It
it.
came out wrong. Herman tells Eddie, he's like, all right, get to bed, and I promise I'll wake you if there are any gory parts. So Eddie finally agrees and heads up. The news continues with a composite of the man and what he would look like if the Jack the Ripper had survived to today.
So
Herman already knows what he'd look like. Dead.
yeah, a question. If
Yes.
back in the day when stuff was happening on TV, how could your parents just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go wake you up real quick because this part is happening"? You couldn't pause the TV back in the day or
Yeah, he was
rewind
definitely
it.
gonna miss something.
Yeah.
Well,
You got little
I mean,
floaties in your background now too.
that's just the orbs. I'm good.
It's just the ghosts.
That's what I said. Orbs. Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean, that was just the hassle of watching TV when we were younger.
yeah,
So,
until
hey,
like
I'll get
TiVo
you
came out.
when the part you want to watch starts. I'll come get you, but that means you're always gonna miss like the first couple minutes of it.
Yeah.
Uh, such is
Nowadays
life.
I can pause my live TV, I can rewind it, and if I pause it later on, I can fast forward through the commercials, which is nice.
It depends on which one you watch it. Some of them let you do it, and others don't.
Oh no, like I'm talking like actual TV, not like streaming service things.
Oh, you're talking DVR stuff.
Yeah, because our cable thing comes with like a built-in DVR, I guess, with it.
Oh, that's
I've
nice.
never used it to like record or anything, but I've used it to like,
You know,
I'm gonna go do something real quick. I'll pause it in the middle of the thing, and then that way it has enough time saved up so that when I come back, when a commercial comes on, I can fast forward through the commercials.
we have Philo, which is a streaming TV, which most cable
Yeah,
companies are streaming now anyway, but it's cheap.
yeah,
And it allows us to do that too. We can set shows to just record if we're not going to be home to watch it and then watch it on there. But
right.
sometimes with these recordings, you can go through the commercials, and other times it'll say, nope, sorry.
It's like, no, you gotta watch this stuff. We
Yeah.
need paid.
Yeah. But
Anyway,
anyway, we get the image of the
Jack the
Ripper.
Ripper, the new Ripper. Yeah.
No, this is supposed to be of what the original Ripper would look like if he was still alive today, according
Oh
to the
yeah,
news
that's
guy.
right. Yeah, yeah. He'd look dead.
Yeah, what's he look like, Mike?
He looks just like Grandpa. Oh man. And then
Or
Herman
that
is
actor, Howard Morton.
taken back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh.
Now we go back down to Grandpa's lab where I didn't write the song down. He was
Singing. I
just
didn't.
singing
It's
some
something
random
about
thing.
a full moon and someone dying tonight.
Yeah. And he has
Yeah.
like a brick of like a circular thing. Is he feeding Stanley freaking cat food from a can?
No, it's liverwurst.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's like, Stanley, here's your liverwurst, which is the liverwurst smell. And Herman
It's,
like sneaks into the damn
oh, I
basement.
gotta
He
say
doesn't hit his
too.
head this time.
Yeah, I gotta say too though. It's good to see Stanley back 'cause we haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah, it
So,
is.
not that he plays a vital role in this, but still.
No, it's just really nice to see. It's like whenever the cat would come back in the original show because they would forget it existed for so many episodes.
Yeah. Too bad we didn't have Igor though.
Uh,
But yeah, Herman sneaks
yeah,
down through the basement, and dude, I'm loving Leonard. Like, dude, they really make him a character and not just a prop. I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
but yeah,
Like, it's
Leonard is
it's awesome.
he, he's got a part to play in this one.
And he does a lot of movement, and he actually, like, his head follows everybody as they move when he's on screen anyways, which is kind of cool. So when Herman's coming down, he looks over at him, and then as Herman walks over towards Grandpa, Leonard's, basically panning with him, like following him with his head until he gets to that one standstill point. Just kind of cool. So it kind of really makes you think he's alive. It's nice. And even like very subtle like movements too. So they do another shot here after a second. So Herman comes down with the mail and Grandpa snatches it from him. And then they go to another angle. And by this point, they have Leonard angled out more to look towards Grandpa more rather than looking at Herman. So it's kind of cool. Like they do these very
Mhm.
subtle things with him. It's cool. Anyways, sorry.
It's we got a storm apparently coming through, so
Oh, fun. Yeah, so let's
um,
get through this for that storm.
yeah. Well, but he comes down, he brings the mail, he scares Grandpa. He's like, "Look, you may already be a winner." Grandpa's like, "Give me that." Oh, it's from my dentist. I need to get my fangs sharpened. They dole out after the third neck. Everyone's like, "I'm sorry, what?
Neck? What do you
Third?"
mean their neck?
Uh, and Grandpa turns to, "Why are you still here?" He's he's so mean to Herman this episode. He's like,
Yeah.
"Maybe you want some company? I don't." So Herman picks something off the ground. He's like, "What is this?" And Grandpa's like, "It's a new hobby. I'm carving radishes into living things." There's the radishes. And in some cases, vice versa. As he turns
Yeah.
around and Herman is right behind him. Herman hasn't seen him too much at dinner, at the dinner table this week. And Grandpa's like, "Yeah, that's because I haven't been there." And every night you leave with that little black bag. What's in it? And grabs it. It's none of your business.
Yeah.
So he opens
And
up.
he freaking opens up this leather with the cleaver
Yeah, he does.
after he threatens Herman with it almost like when he
Mhm.
takes so Herman goes over to the bag and Grandpa snatches the bag up real quick and then like holds it right in front of him right in front of Herman like he's threatening him with it like leave my bag alone, sir.
Mhm.
But yeah, Grandpa opens up the leather and with the cleaver. What is this lever or leather?
Letter.
What is this leather
It's
for?
he reads it real quick, and he's like, "What? You fool!"
Yeah.
And he's like,
Oh,
"Well,
did you
is it
mention
from Ed
that?
McMahon?"
Did
Oh,
you
what?
mention that Herman asks Grandpa flat out if he ever met Jack the Ripper?
Not yet.
I thought it was right here. It was before he
No,
opens
it's
the
later
leather.
on. No,
Oh
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
in the next scene.
I'm high up in my notes. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I had to scroll down. I'm like, where the hell am I in mine? I got distracted by the weather outside. Yeah. So he opens the letter. He's like, "What? No, you fool!" Herman's like, "Is it from Ed McMahon?" Kind of like, hey, money, because we
Yeah,
had the Ed McMahon mentioned with Louis in the house
yeah.
or Lewis.
Lewis.
Yeah. And Grandpa's like, it's worse. The head of the patent bureau, they won't let me register my newest invention. Dana Walker has already registered a similar machine. Everyone's
Isn't
like,
Dana
well,
Walker one of your friends?
yeah. Yeah. He's was a friend.
Yeah.
Friendship only stretches so far. He grabs his bag and Herman asks what he plans to do. First, I'm going to sink my fangs into this guy's neck. Then I'll carve that ugly face of his into a radish. Then I'm going to get violent. And I love this new grandpa voice that we've had ever since, I believe the first time we heard it was with, I am calm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that night, Herman stays up reading about Jack the Ripper all night long. He's, Grandpa, how could you do it? And he could just, oh, that's how you did it. I thought that was a nice little gag.
He's reading this book about Jack the Ripper, and I would be like, if I thought that was like somebody in my family, I'd be very, very worried.
Yeah, and yeah, he gets pretty paranoid. And I got a nice little thing here.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. And of course it doesn't break it up. All right, whatever. This was poor planning on my part. Yeah, Grandpa wanders in and Herman hides the book under a dessert tray, and Grandpa's like, what you reading? And Herman's like, what? The book under the dessert tray. What's it about? So he's like, oh. And I can't tell if he's playing dumb or literally forgot he was reading a book now that it's out of sight because it's Herman.
Right.
It's to help Eddie with the report on lint. Lint? Yeah, lint. Lint? Lint. And so Grandpa is like, well, I was about to waste my day helping mankind, but Herman tells him to sit down, and Grandpa actually obliges.
Yeah.
Hey, so I was reading about how lint was traced back to England in the late 1880s. Can you read through the mess I posted?
Let's see here.
Do you want to read Herman or Grandpa?
It doesn't matter, dude. Here, I'll just start. You were there back then, weren't you?
Where?
London.
What part of London?
Any part of London. Name it.
No,
No, Grandpa,
I wasn't there.
Oh, come on, Grandpa.
So I was there. I don't remember much.
Most people would remember a trip like that.
Well, the Red Cross was having an open house, and I was on a binge. Now ask me about Paris.
I'm not interested in Paris.
Of course not, and you wonder why they hate Americans.
Grandpa, you were in London with Jack the Ripper. Did you meet him?
Who has time to socialize? I have a lot of important stuff to do. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Grandpa, you never told me that what's in the bag.
Herman, sometimes it's better to let sleeping bats lie.
Dun,
If you
dun,
catch my drift.
dun. Dun, dun, dun,
And
dun.
Herman goes, drift, drift. This was an amazing back and forth. I loved this scene. That's why I had it. I wish this chat would not have pushed everything into one giant mess,
I
but
was
whatever.
gonna say it was like one paragraph. It was hard to
I
figure out
know.
where his breaks were.
What Herman walks into the living room with some time later and finds Marilyn. He's like, hey, I'm going to ask you a hypothetical question. Not right now. I'm busy. I need to figure out how many times I need a babysit to afford tickets to Bon Jovi concert, which, yes, Marilyn, go see that concert. Herman wants her to, like, no. Hey, stay away from Grandpa, will you? She's like, so if I do this like 6 times, I get... Look, I can't tell you why you need to stay, but just stay away. Okay, fine, I'll tell you. I think he's Jack the Ripper. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh, who's he sing with? No, he's not a singer. He's a cold-blooded killer. Mary cannot fathom the thought of Grandpa being a killer at all. But Herman claims to have proof. And I'm at this point, I'm like, dude, what proof?
Yeah. There's no proof. It's all circumstantial bullcrap.
Yeah.
And then this scene is where I really sat for a second and really was starting to dig Herman's outfit, even though he's had it on for the whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
The purple goes good with the green, accentuates
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It really does. Yeah. But Marilyn goes to bed. And at this point, I literally think, where is Lily? Then he begins listing out things and says, maybe it's just a coincidence. Besides, he's just an old, harmless, defenseless killer. And then he bumps into Lily, and I'm like, oh, there she is. And this is the point where I texted you, Mike. I'm like, I love when this show has me ask a question and then answers it literally 3 seconds later.
Yeah.
Because seriously, we have not seen Lily this entire episode. I'm like, okay, is it her week to have off? That's weird. It's not usual for one of the mainstays to be gone.
Yeah. One of the main three.
Yeah. So she's like, look, you've been so jumpy lately. What is wrong with you? You know, is it time to get those hoses and pumps checked? Like, no, I'm just really yes. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it
getting
is.
that time for me too. I'm not looking forward to it. He's like, no, I'm just worried about Grandpa. He's out late all night, and I really want to know why. She's also worried about that. There was another Jack the Ripper attack 3 blocks away. Just the other night, some poor guy named Walker.
It wasn't Dana Walker, was it?
Yes, it was.
Dun dun dun. Oh,
That settles
no.
it. Hey, Lily. Suppose someone tells you, hypothetically, that someone you knew is the new Jack the Ripper, hypothetically speaking. How would you react? He's like, well, I'd say it's their hypothetical responsibility to call the hypothetical police. And then
Hypothetically.
she heads off to bed, and Herman gets on the phone.
Yeah.
No, I'm not interested in a reward.
Wait, how much? Oh, that's
You know,
no. I just want my family safe. My
and we
name?
get the classic Herman behavior right here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his name.
His name is Herman Munster. M as in murder. And then they cut
Like,
to
dude, you were saying that makes what happens seem a little more
understandable.
Yeah.
But, definitely.
So now we get the commercial break, and when we come back, Eddie is leaving the lab. And Herman's like, what the hell are you doing down there? I thought I told you stay away from him. Eddie's like, why can't we just be a normal family? You know, with a grandpa who lets the tub overflow and forgets where he lives.
Okay, Eddie, what normal families do that?
Yeah, that's someone with Alzheimer's, Eddie. That's
still not normal.
No. So Herman's like,
how many of our congressmen do that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's a legitimate concern. So Herman's like, we have to keep this a secret, right? And he's like, look, this isn't something I want to brag about. Why the hell would I tell anyone? It's like, okay, cool. Give me the codes.
Ooh, the codes. How once if I see Grandpa going out? Twice if I see Grandpa flying out.
3 times if I see the ice cream truck. Which I can't tell if he's being a smartass or not, because that is something Herman would ask him to do. So he tells him, look, get upstairs and lock your door.
Yeah.
And that's when the doorbell rings.
Dun, dun, dun. And then we get Detective or Lieutenant. I am not good today. we get Lieutenant crap, what is his name?
I was just waiting on you. Is it Reynolds?
Reynolds, yes, Lieutenant Reynolds. I told you that
Yeah.
this morning. Yeah, Lieutenant
Yeah, you did.
Reynolds comes to the door, flashes his badge, and is here because somebody has called numerous times within 24 hours about Jack the Ripper information.
Mostly after midnight. And Herman's like, that's when the rates go down.
Right.
Oh, yeah. He's like, this cop or lieutenant. He's like, have you ever heard of a crackpot, Munster? So there was this woman that I saw Saint Peter appear on a can of tuna fish, and 3 people who claim to have seen Elvis. Have you seen Elvis, Munster? He's like, once in Vegas, but after he put on all the weight. And the police dude cannot object to this because Elvis had only been gone for 12 years. And at Herman's age, it is reasonable to believe he may have actually seen him in person.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's not that hard to believe that he would have seen them in person because
we
crap, when
know
did
how old
Elvis
he is, but I mean, Herman could have, even if he was living by normal years.
Elvis only died in what, 70, what does it
Yeah,
say? 77.
yeah, 12 years before this episode.
Dude, I'm gonna be older than Elvis in a few years. Holy shit. I don't want to
Yeah,
die on a pooper.
I have more of a chance of that than you.
Oh.
Not that I eat sandwiches on the.
So 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 they're all all right. I don't know why
Yeah.
my notes are all confused, but so have you ever heard the thing like, all right, so they're talking about like, Jack the Ripper, blah blah blah. And
Crackpots,
all
yeah.
these and this guy, the lieutenant also brings up the fact that people think that it's the same guy because of how that it's pulled off.
Oh yeah, he's like, and here you are, a crackpot claiming it's the same Jack the Ripper that terrorized
Yeah.
London.
But apparently there was other people that claimed that too, according to what the lieutenant has said as well in here. He leads it into people thinking that. So,
Mm,
and this idea isn't far-fetched, um, as like, well, one, Jack the Ripper was never caught. It's far-fetched for how long it's been, but
yeah.
there are people out there, including a great grandson of another like famous, like quote unquote famous serial killer who wasn't actually like really, if you actually know the story, it didn't he's made to be bigger than what he is. Not Jack the Ripper, but H. Holmes, the great grandson of H. Holmes, uh claims that he has proof that Jack the Ripper his is H. Holmes, that they're the same person. Which makes sense in a way, but then it also doesn't when you know the story of H. Holmes. So, because he was just kind of like a shisty, you know, you know, you
Yeah.
know.
You know.
It's like you don't go from being this like ominous guy who just kills prostitutes and can actually do doctor work on people to then
Mm.
becoming H. Holmes, a shisty business guy who ends up killing people just because of money.
So it's just someone trying to claim fame for their
I think
family.
so. I think so,
Or
yeah.
infamy, not really.
Infamy, yeah.
Yeah.
I think my idea of somebody from the Manson clan, the Manson family was most likely also the Zodiac killer. That's my thought about that. Because Zodiac killer kind of like pissed
I
off
mean,
and
it makes
stopped
sense.
around the same time as the Manson family was there too. So,
Yeah. But where was Ted
anyways,
Cruz?
he was still a baby,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
I
I don't know
don't
how old he
know.
is.
The internet's a weird place, dude.
I don't think people put together like timelines when they come up with some of those stupid things.
I kind of feel like they do. They just don't care and like to troll.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Also, there are people out there who actually legit believed it. Are the scary people in the world. But anyway, so that brings my interest to you, Mr. Munster. You are now a suspect. Where were you when Dana Walker was murdered? And Herman cannot believe he's being asked this. Look, I like you. You're different. You're unique. You're green. Just confess so we can get this over with and I can get home to watching TV. You know,
Ted Cruz wasn't even born when the Zodiac was around. He
he's
was born
still
in
on that.
he was born in 1970.
I
Sorry.
don't believe anyone here actually believed that.
That's so stupid.
It was an internet joke.
Like, if you're gonna come up with something, have some like somewhat of a concrete thing. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah. Herman's like, no, 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 no. The man you want is Count Vladimir von Dracula.
Now, hear me out. Sorry. Trump could have been him. He was born in 46. He would have been what, 20 some years old at the time? And we
There's
all
a
know
lot
how
of people who could have been him.
he likes to, grab him by the pussy. So
I want
just
you to
he
make
puts a
note
bullet in him
that it's
first.
not me that brought us here.
It's totally you.
It's not me. You came here on your own volition.
Nope.
I'm here for it, but it's not me that brought us here.
Anyways,
So,
back to the show.
yeah, so we get Vladimir von Dracula
Mhm.
as the full name.
It's grandpa of Vladimir Dracula.
Count Vladimir. The cop's like, look, can you just confess already so I can get to arresting? I'm like, wow, they really nailed somebody. Really not so great. Because how many, like, before we had all of the, even now when we do have all this stuff, but back before we had all these, recording stuff where we can keep tabs on a lot of these people, how many did they actually find where people have been sent, wrongly accused and, persecuted and stuff? I mean, we still got people coming out of jail now, 30 years later, be innocent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it's not a slight on all cops. I'm just saying the system was fucked and still is.
Well, it's one of those things. It's a lot of people do falsely, you know, or not falsely, but they admit to a crime they didn't commit because they're under so much duress and all that crap. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because I mean, they put you in a tiny ass room and you're just like sitting there, and half the time the people they just want to get out. They assume if they say whatever the people want to hear them say, then they're good. They'll get out. All that
let us
fun
out
stuff.
of here. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Don't ever say anything ever in the interrogation room. Just don't. Get a
this
lawyer
is a whole
and don't say anything.
rabbit hole, but yeah, it's a whole thing, not just even here in America, but in many countries that it's something. It's so difficult because how do you fix it?
Yeah.
Without it. Yeah,
Even
this is a
even if
deep
look,
conversation.
even if they say they have someone in the other room who just ratted on you, don't say anything
Yeah, that's a tactic.
until your lawyer comes.
And if they bring in a psychic, don't believe the psychic. Especially if she's very pale.
Yeah.
We've been watching iZombie. Herman's like, look, no, I got proof it's Vlad. Come over here, I'll show you. And Lily comes out from behind a wall and is very
Worried.
Concerned?
Yeah.
What did you say?
What?
What did you say?
Worried.
Okay. It's not
What
what
did
I
you
heard.
What did you think I said?
Not worth getting into, but
You thought I
yeah.
said the H word, huh?
Yes. Yeah. She's like wringing her hands like, did I hear him right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So then we go
So
down to the lab where Herman is showing Lieutenant
a,
Reynolds
a radish
the radish.
that resembles Tammy Faye Baker, who, for people like me who had no idea who this is a televangelist who passed away in 2007. That's all you need to know.
Cool. It's got like paper eyelashes.
Yeah, it's real big.
It's huge. But they do a
Yeah.
really close up shot right here of Herman's hand, and you get to see
Mhm.
like the stitching on his wrist and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
that is a really cool detail.
Yeah.
And then he's like, here's the liverwurst.
Yep.
And Cal's like, I'm beginning to smell a rat. He's like, oh, that's just Stanley. He's been getting worse ever since Grandpa stopped flossing his teeth. Flossing is important, people. It sucks to do, but honest to God, it helps your teeth a lot more than just brushing daily. Like,
Yeah.
it's seriously do it.
And it also it also sorry, I just saw this spot happen. But it also helps, bad breath and all that fun stuff. Because that stuff will just sit in between your teeth and rot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, little. What was PSA?
The more you know. All right, so as Herman is going through the lab with the guy, he's like, "Oh, there's the bag right there." And Lieutenant Reynolds grabs the bag. And what does Herman tell him before the next spot?
I don't remember what he said. I just know what's about to happen
Yeah.
next.
Yeah, he's like, he basically tells the guy, "This is where the murder weapons are and stuff,"
Yeah.
essentially. And then Grandpa walks down and Leonard turns really fast and drops his jaw. I love that.
He doesn't even walk down. He's just suddenly there.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And this is another great shot with Leonard. Like he literally goes from dropping his jaw that when Grandpa comes in to following him and watching him, and he turns like completely like this
Mm-hmm.
as Grandpa walks across the room. It's pretty sweet. Yeah.
The cops like, look, I'm
What
from the
what about
city.
the other skeleton? Does the other skeleton not have a life? Did Grandpa kill that
No,
skeleton? 'Cause Grandpa doesn't take care of that other skeleton. What if that's Leonard's
no.
wife?
Well, that's dark. Why would you do that? But yeah, the cops like, I'm from the city, and we're thinking of turning your house into a landmark. And Grandpa has no idea how to respond to that. He just makes a face. He's like, these
Yeah.
historic walls, what if they could talk? And Grandpa's like, what do you mean if? Grandpa has no patience for anyone lately. Uh, Herman, what is going on? He's like, I was just showing this man around the house. Well, show him the door.
He's
Uh,
so angry here, dude. He's so
oh,
angry.
he's like, why aren't you arresting him? We don't have any evidence for it. Like, you need to. I need to go look for more concrete stuff. Meanwhile, figure out what's in that bag.
Yeah.
And Grandpa is just left checking the sharpness of a hatchet too. He doesn't look up as they leave or anything. He's just staring at it.
Oh yeah, he's rubbing the edge of the cleaver.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we
Which
go upstairs
not unusual.
to yeah. Then we go upstairs. I think they take a commercial break. I couldn't tell if it was commercial break or cut.
I think it was just a
But
cut. It seems like there's only one commercial break for this.
but but then we go upstairs to the dinner table where Herman, Marilyn, and Eddie are all bunched together on one side of the table.
Yeah.
Which
Grandpa like walks up to it. He stops for a second, looks at them like, huh. And he's like, all right, whatever.
oh,
Ugh. It's so good. He's like, "What's for dinner?" Lily boiled a turkey. Man, I would kill for some red meat. What is up with the plastic cutlery? Ever since Herman goes, Herman, that's a great line.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, go on.
Ever since we gave the appliances the afternoon off, the silverware have been very jealous.
It's messed up, man. Messed up. And then Lily walks out with this turkey that does not look cooked in any way.
Nope.
I was looking at this. I'm like, this isn't cooked. This isn't
Well, I
even.
mean, have you
I
ever
guess
boiled a chicken?
no, because I'm not nasty.
You've never boiled a chicken so that you could shred it? Not boil it, but we put it in the
I put it in a
pressure
slow
cooker.
cooker. Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, it
it
basically
still comes
looks the
out with
same.
color.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does not come out white,
No,
like
no, that it
pure
does not.
white.
Not even raw chicken's white. So,
But this is a turkey, not chicken.
oh yeah, that's true. I've never done it with a turkey.
I hope you've never done it with any type of. Never mind. Uh,
Why? Yeah.
but
So we
so
got the
Lily
turkey
comes
out.
out with the turkey, and she's got this giant knife stabbed into it. And Herman and Grandpa, or Herman sees the knife, and he jumps fast to go and grab that knife, as Grandpa does too at the same time. And then they start arguing over who's going to cut the turkey.
Yeah, Herman, you carved up the buffalo last week. It is my turn.
Yeah.
Herman's like, it looks soft as butter. We don't even need carving. And then he rips off a leg and throws it at Eddie.
And the way that lands on the plate, it
I'm
definitely does
joking.
not look cooked, dude.
No.
Yeah. Anyways.
No.
And then what the heck?
Lily takes the knife.
Yeah, Lily grabs the knife afterwards and she starts to carve it up.
Will you give it to me and stop acting like I'm a murderer? And eventually he's like, is there anything more exciting than the sound of cold steel slicing through dead flesh? And the kids flee.
Yeah, that's where they like take off. They're like, yeah, we're out.
And
We're not
Herman has
hungry.
this great line. We should have had soup. You don't have to cut soup.
I don't know, with the Munster soup, they might have to.
Yeah, maybe. Whatever happened to that arm that came out from under the table? Is that like Marilyn's power? She can summon demons?
I don't know, dude. I'm still confused about that arm.
So that night,
Boy.
Herman and the kids go into the lab. Marilyn still can't believe it. And Herman isn't shocked by this at all. Grandpa is a wonderful person. In between murders.
In the background, you see Leonard, and his mouth is taped shut, but they don't know this right away. And he's just following them too with his eyes still. And then they finally see Leonard mouth taped shut. Oh yeah, I did put that graphic there, didn't I?
Oh yeah, I saw it earlier. I was waiting for you to use it.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
Poor Leonard. And it looked like he just had it like his mouth open for a second from the distance. I was like, oh no, his jaw broke again. But then when I finally realized what it was, it's like, oh, they just put gaff tape over his face.
Yeah. Grandpa must have swore him to secrecy. Did he, or did he force it upon him?
Both.
So Eddie finds the bag, and Grandpa appears, demanding to know what's going on. It's like he's summoned every time they touch this damn thing.
Yeah. And
Playtime is
again,
over, Herman.
Leonard is just watching everybody. He's
Yeah.
just there. This poor guy. He can't do nothing but turn his head. But
Yeah.
can Leonard talk? Like, what's the point of taping his mouth shut? Can he talk?
Well, Grandpa communicates with him, so he's got to have some kind of way.
Telekinesis? Maybe there's still brain in there.
Or maybe there's like they came up with a clicking thing with his putting his teeth together.
Shaw.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Now playtime is over. I told you to stay out of my lap. Now hand over the bag. And Herman's, I would rather be disemboweled.
And the kids freaking take off again.
Everything was perfect for me before you butted in. I had it all figured out. If it wasn't for you, no one would have suspected a thing.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, and this is where
Yeah.
Herman's like, run.
Yeah. And the kids bolt out of there. And then Herman and Grandpa keep going at it. And finally,
Can,
where is it?
can we talk about this like two adults? Well, that'll be a problem because we're one adult short.
Yeah. Oh. This is when is this right now right here where Herman opens the bag up?
Now, first he accuses him. It's
Yeah.
over. It's the end of Jack the Ripper. And Grandpa's like, what the hell are
What
you
are
talking
you
about?
talking about, dude?
Then
And
he
he's like,
reaches in.
this is your weapon. You kill people with it. And what does Grandpa say?
Grandpa, he's like,
Did you miss?
he loses his cool. He's like, I knit with it.
He's like, this is a needle. I knit things with it.
Yeah. Just the way he screams it is so good.
It's about Grandpa then goes in about how he's so stressed they took up a knitting class. What is Grandpa stressed about? He doesn't have to pay the bills. He just sits in his lab and does whatever he wants all day.
Yeah. Well, Lily comes down. She's like, what is going on? Damn it. So he hands her a
Yeah.
pamphlet, Knitting for Nitwits. Well, we already saw one hobby of his. He's been turning radishes into things. So it's like he's moving through things.
Yeah.
So he's like,
But
hey, I
again,
enrolled.
what was he stressed about? He doesn't
Yeah.
really give like a stress
Well, I'm
reason.
sure you might still be a little stressed after the whole thing with Lewis. You never know.
I guess
But
so.
he's like, I enrolled in a night class to avoid your judgment. What with my hand knitted scarves and my Village People albums. And Lily's like nodding and understanding, and Herman is just shocked to hear about the albums. Like, Herman apologizes for the confusion. Like, I should have known you're not Jack the Ripper, and he hopes this doesn't hurt our relationship. What relationship?
He says, Grandpa, I'm sorry I thought you were a psychopathic, bloodthirsty serial killer, and I hope it doesn't hurt our relationship. What relationship?
Lily's like, now shake hands, both of you. Should they shake and call each other friends? And Grandpa says, Herman has a good heart.
Yeah.
Which is so nice.
Go on.
And then Herman's like, thank you. The doctor paid retail for it.
Yeah.
It's always nice when you hear Grandpa give compliments to Herman, because even in this show, it is so rare, but it feels genuine,
Mm-hmm.
Not like a backhanded type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm being forced to say this. No, he actually means it.
So, and at this point is where I wrote in my notes, I'm actually starting to wonder if Lily is the actual killer.
I was wondering that too. She is Dracula.
She what?
She is a Dracula.
Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, like Lily's the killer right here now, right?
She's been missing this whole episode, so it is very.
And she's always
concerning.
creeping around the corners and stuff, and kind of like, oh no, I don't want my dad to get arrested for the things I've been doing, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
I still think she's the killer. I don't care what the ending of the show says. I still think she's the killer.
So Grandpa goes over to Leonard. He's like, Herman is so impressionable. If knitting made me Jack the Ripper, what is he going to think when he finds out I'm taking macrame next? I think I said that right.
I don't even remember what he said with
Yeah.
it.
Well, for
Yeah.
those who don't know, it's like a kind of rope design thing, and he holds up a noose.
Yeah.
And then we get the last scene.
Where Herman
Or,
and Lily are on the couch watching
yeah, they're like cuddling. It's
yeah,
nice.
watching the it looks so uncomfortable on that couch too. It's the way that's angled, I think. I don't understand why their
Probably.
couch is angled like that. Oh,
Grandpa's
besides
in the
for
background, like taking a book from
TV.
the mummy.
Yeah. Um, and then on the TV or the news or whatever, Jack the Ripper has been arrested.
Grandpa's like, why are you watching American Crime Scene? The real crime is finding out how this show got on TV in the first place. And then they show a TV of or an image. It very much it was on the screen for audio listeners, but it very much looks like an early shot of Howard.
Oh yeah. So this one here that I just put on the screen, this is the first one that they showed, the sketch of
Hmm.
him. And then in this next one, they show an actual picture of like Howard, like just in the costume, not
Hmm.
angry or anything like that. It doesn't look sad that he's wearing 500 layers of clothes on the set all day.
Yeah,
Anything
it,
like that.
I wonder, is this image for like from the promotional shots they took when the show was about to premiere?
I think so because I think I've seen it before in
I gotta tell you,
as a full
it,
body shot.
it looks very similar to someone we know named Frank too.
Yeah. Here, I'm
But
gonna load it up here real quick. Oh, it's too long. The upload's taking too long.
no, oh
Right.
well.
Oh, screw
Grandpa
you.
doesn't see a resemblance, and I have one last question for you, Mike, as we end the episode.
Yeah.
Grandpa totally killed his friend, right? Because that was never resolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think that Lily was the killer too. She gave off all the signs of it, and and that's not even based on. I guess it is circumstantial, but still, it's, she gave off all the damn signs of being the killer, like lurking in the shadows. It's her dad and all these other things, and I'm just like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
So
Anyways,
final thoughts?
final thoughts. I mean, I enjoyed the episode for the final episode though of the 80s. It was kind of like, man, this is the note we're going out on for me. But I mean, yeah, I enjoyed the episode. I just I do as somebody who knows about like these killer things, I hate that they take the real life ones and kind of make them not as serious. Like it's not a serious thing. Where Jack the Ripper was a very shitty person. And if Grandpa turned out to be the actual Jack the Ripper, that would have been really messed up.
Yeah.
Uh yeah. Anyway, I mean, yeah, I liked it. There wasn't like a lot of like the last few episodes that we've had where we could like deep dive into a conversation about the you know how we talked about stuff in
Yeah.
relation to the real world and all
I
that.
agree. But I mean, it's perfect for us considering our time restraints today. But
Yeah, yeah,
no,
definitely.
it was nice having those three very specific ones in a row
Hmm.
that definitely opened up deep conversations. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
so it's kind of a shame to get away from that. So for me, this is definitely not as good as the past few we've been watching, but it was
right.
still a fun one.
Yeah, yeah. It was still a fun episode just to watch in general, but as far as like the talking about it part, it's There's not a whole lot to really dive into. I mean, I guess you could like really, if you really wanted to push it, you'd be like, oh, well, this just proves that you shouldn't, judge people based off of little bits of evidence that mean nothing and blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
You see what I
Yeah.
did there? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you went to
Ho-
Peanuts.
Hotel Transylvania.
Oh,
We don't go blah,
I
blah,
need to
blah.
watch that. I need to watch that again. Oh,
Um,
Adam Sandler rules.
but I do like in this episode there was a lot more Leonard following the camera and stuff like that. So that was
Yeah,
really cool.
Leonard is not so much just a set piece. He's actually feels like a character.
Right.
Whereas I feel like I don't know if I would call their house a character in this one.
I don't think so because it really doesn't do much. And
No, I
yeah,
feel like you could. There's an argument for it in the original show, but not so much in this one.
yeah,
Um, and
and
it's really due to the whole being stuck on the one set, which stinks. But I understand, constraints.
yeah. Sometimes that's how they get to stay on the air. It's just because there's like, all
Mhm.
right, here's one set. It's already here. Use this. If you need more money, then you're canceled,
Yeah.
basically.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they go back into some of the deeper story arcs. I mean, not that they were deeper, but we were able to find a deeper conversation within them. Um, but we'll see if the writers go back to that, or maybe this was like shot out of order. You know how because we know how that works.
Yeah.
So, and this was episode what 11 of season 2. So yeah,
Yep. Now we are at the halfway point, I believe. There's only 22, right?
for season 2 there is let's see here 24 episodes.
24. So we're next episode will be the halfway point. The
Yeah,
beginning of the 90s.
the beginning of the 90s. Well, before we dive into what we're doing next week, what's your thoughts, dude?
I pretty much everything you said. Like this was a fun one, but it didn't give us the cool deep dive that we kind of got spoiled for the last 3 weeks. Um, yeah, it's just it's not bad. I'll say that, but it's kind of like middle of the road for me.
Mhm.
Like average episode, which is
Yeah,
never that's never anything. I don't understand why people use that as a negative now. Uh, being average is that's perfectly that's that's the bar you should be aiming for. If you get higher, that's great. But
right. Well, if you're high on everything, then when you have those like quote unquote average ones, then
Mhm,
it's kind of like, oh, well, that's a letdown. And I don't think that with TV and stuff that you should have your minimum, like your basics, and then every so often you'll have a really good episode, and then
mhm,
everything else is just it's a steadiness. So we've
yeah.
just had a few good episodes and chats and
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
which lead it to be like, it could have been, but it was still a good episode. It was just
Mhm.
it did feel really rushed for sure
Yeah,
at certain points. And it was
and
more of a
there is
Herman episode than anything.
yes, it's there is that whole deep dive in the whole you know reform of the justice system kind of conversation, but that is
Mhm.
going to be much longer, and I am not as well educated as I could be on the subject. So
Oh yeah.
it's
I've watched a
which
lot of interrogation videos to see how they like do things certain ways and the ways they talk. It's very interesting.
but I will say there's a whole misconception that you need to be an expert on something to comment on something. No, you don't need to know everything to realize there's something wrong,
Mhm.
but also realize you don't know everything, so you may not be able to come up with the best solution.
Yeah. Are you sure about that?
That I'm pretty positive about. I am an expert at not knowing things.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, totally. I don't want to try and deep dive into any conversation like that. 'Cause that
No,
could go
no, that's
for
what
a
I'm just
long
saying, that
time.
that does exist, and that is a whole separate podcast series, let alone an episode. So that's
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. All right, so then with that said, what are we talking about next week, Tivis?
Next week we are talking about Gateman and Son. Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
We are
Gateman and
both too
Son.
polite.
So what's that?
We are both too polite. Is he gonna click it? Am I gonna click it? We're both gonna
So
click it.
Gateman and Son, I am assuming is a course about I'm
The parlor.
assuming that Gateman's son is going to be taking over the parlor.
Ooh, that is good.
Because we've already established that there's Gateman and what is it, Goodberry?
Goodberry and Graves.
But like there was two of them in this one. They didn't have wait, they didn't have Mr. Gateman in the first season. They had
They
the other
had Gate.
two.
I believe we talked about Goodberry in this one.
Yeah. That's what it was, Mr. Goodberry. So Gateman is
I
new
think.
to the show. Yeah. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Here's my guess. They're gonna have a fight, and he's gonna come stay with Herman's family to spite his father, and it's gonna cause problems for Herman at work.
That seems like a lot.
It does, but I've thrown out these curveballs before, and they've come close, so I'm gonna try again. I don't.
Yeah. Okay. We'll
I
see.
can't remember what we said about this episode last week. How
Oh,
accurate were we?
what if it's another like Gateman and son, as in like he treats Herman like his son?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
That's
Yeah,
a
because
very
they had that whole
sticky
episode
storyline.
like that in the first season, and then completely forgot about it. Not first season, first show, and then
First
forgot
shot,
about
yeah.
it
Yeah.
and made him like a total jerk.
Jerk
Yeah,
afterwards. Yeah.
it makes no
Yeah.
sense.
It'd be interesting to see what it is. I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say before we take off out of here, dude?
I want to apologize for spoiling people for our long episodes the past couple weeks, and then here's a short one for you. But sometimes short ones are good ones. And thank you all for joining us.
Don't set me up with those things, man.
It's not the length that matters, all right?
It's the girth. Uh And real quick, guys, before we take off, since we do have just a couple extra minutes here, go over to themunstercast.com/sticker meal 10. That's sticker mule MULE and 10, and you get a 10% or $10 credit on your first order there, guys. We are an affiliate, so we do get a $10 credit onto our account as well. So definitely take advantage of that. Get yourself some stickers, shirts, cups, whatever it is that you guys want. Save $10 on it by going to themunstercast.com/sticker mule 10. Oh,
I really
jeez.
need to wash this so I can use it.
Oh, that's a great cup, dude. Such a great cup. All right. Any more final words?
Just, thank you to the audience for continuing to stick with us. Oh, yeah, that's right. Myke got some VHS tapes for audio listeners.
Yeah, I got Monster Go Home and the Monsters Lost episode on VHS recently. I had the other Monster movie, Monster's Revenge, but the a-holes canceled the order.
Oh,
I was like, you suck off, bro.
well, they'll look nice on your shelf next to Rob Zombie's Monsters.
All that stuff up there is all
Yeah,
Monster
the blurry.
stuff. You can't see it right now. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, with that all said, I think we'll head
You'll
out
have
of
to take a
here.
picture and share it on our socials.
Oh yeah, definitely. That all said, guys, thank you very much. Thank you,
I'm just
Tivis.
going to interrupt you again.
Thank you, Tivis. And I will see you next week. And we will catch y'all next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
The lesson I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. Or you can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.